You better believe it, Cliff. And thank you very much. Day 17 of the Christmas Kids show tour. And today we are at Garber Buick GMC, as you mentioned, family owned for over 100 years. Proud to be a part of the Garber Automotive Group since 1907. And Garber has been a staple in the automotive industry, running one of the oldest family-owned dealerships in the United States. And today, well, this is not your grandfather's Buick, and we'll talk about that coming up. But first, we've got some, what a group of students we got here, Carol.
Wonderful sound, yes.
Under the direction of George Romming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lincoln Park Academy Chorale. Take a listen to this.
Fa la la, fa la 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 la, fa la la, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. Jingle, 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 jingle. So take the whole season to la 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 la
Wow, nicely done. Wow, isn't that great? Great harmonies from Lincoln Park Academy Chorale.
And
beautiful harmonies.
We'll hear more a little bit later in this program. We want to welcome Steve Ward from Garber Buick, and certainly thank you. This is your first Christmas Kids show, so welcome.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your continuing the support of the Christmas Kids. There's a long history, as G was mentioning, the Garber family and Buick.
Absolutely. You got to figure the Garber family was the very first Buick dealership in the nation to open its doors. It's still in operation today.
In Saginaw, Michigan.
Near Saginaw, Lansing is the location of that store. So, since then, the Garber organization has grown tremendously. Over 19 new car dealership franchises across the country, in addition to other some used car operations that they have as well. And it's really a wonderful organization. The Garber family is incredible to work with, and I'm very excited to be a part of the Garber family these days.
Now, we see the commercials nationally of, is that a Buick? And what's your biggest seller right now? What are people looking at?
Right now in the Buick line, the Encore is our hottest vehicle. That's the small SUV that Buick has. And, everything's moving, to SUVs, as we all know. But the Buick Encore is definitely the number one seller for us here locally as well as nationally for Buick.
What do people like about it? Why are they moving to an SUV?
I think they like the perception of the additional safety, being able to sit up higher, having a better view of the road. And nowadays, you don't have to necessarily sacrifice fuel economy in an SUV. You take an Encore, that vehicle gives you the space and the comfort of an SUV, but you're talking upwards of 30 plus miles per gallon. So, that's a huge attraction for people today.
And there are always some Christmas specials, end-of-year specials?
Absolutely. It's well known that December is one of the best times of the year to buy a new vehicle. And this year's no different. You're talking upwards of 20% off sticker on new Buicks right now, which is significant. And not only that, but GMC as well. You're talking, you can save up to $14,000 on new GMCs. And we're very fortunate with GMC, and obviously the new truck, we have the new 2019 GMC Sierra, which is totally redesigned, and it's really being taken well by the market.
Carol mentioned the commercials, and I guess for a while, for years, a Buick was thought of as an older person's car maybe, but these new commercials, they are at Madison Avenue, New York, whoever the marketing people are, they nailed it because they've got everyone thinking a new way about Buick.
Absolutely. You look at the technologies, the features, the styling of the Buicks, it's definitely not what Buick used to be or was perceived to be. And we're seeing a whole new generation of people considering the Buick products. And, for the dollar, the value for dollar, the warranty that you get on the vehicles, it really should be on everybody's shopping list, especially this Christmas season.
Now, there's also something that you do with high schools on the Treasure Coast. And as I understand, you had it's a test drive program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Buick is nationally, they have a program called the Test Drive Event. And the dealerships are able to put this on at local high schools. And we've done now, I believe, 4. And we've done so far 5, actually. And our latest one was at Westwood High School in Fort Pierce. And the test drive event is basically a day where people can come out from the community, test drive a new Buick. We have, and in GMC, we have several new models there at the location. And the possibility to earn a donation up to $10,000 to the school. And we were very fortunate with Westwood, the past event we had, which was in November, they did earn the full $10,000.
Oh, that is great. Now, there is a limit. You have to be 21.
You have to be over 21 to be able to drive the vehicle and ride in the vehicles. But it's, a lot of the people like the fact that they're not coming out to the dealership. They have a chance to just experience the vehicle outside. But really, it's about the school and benefiting the children.
And I understand you have scheduled another event?
Yes, we're very excited about the upcoming event in March for Lincoln Park. So we're going to need everybody to pitch in.
Bring your family, yes.
Yep, bring families out so we can earn as much money for the school as possible there. So the plan is in March right now. We're still finalizing the exact dates.
That is great. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And we'll talk a little bit more about one thing that we're seeing so much in cars now is technology and the changes and so forth. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but we have some very talented
Oh, we
musicians.
certainly do. And George Roming has done a very, very good, wonderful job with these students. The Lincoln Park Academy Chorale, some great harmonies again on our Christmas Kids show, day 17 of the Christmas Kids show here. We're going to hear something really nice. Check this out.
Can't wait for Christmas, soon it will be here. Can't wait for Christmas, we've been good all year. So sing from the rooftops, up and down the town. We can't wait for Christmas now. Can't wait for Christmas, hurry, don't delay. Oh no, we can't wait for Christmas, it's our favorite day. So sing from the rooftops, up and down the town. We can't wait for Christmas now. Excitement is mounting as everyone's counting down the days, as we make ready for Santa's big night. Let's deck the trees and string the lights, paint the scenes with familiar sights, and have a happy holiday. Can't wait for Christmas, soon it will be here. Can't wait for Christmas, we've been
Greg whispered in my ear, it sounds like Broadway, kind of like
does.
like
That's what I was
Rent, the
thinking.
cast of Rent or something.
Yeah.
Mr. Romney, take the mic because I've got to ask you some questions. Because while they're singing, Carol, have you noticed the faces?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
they're serious, but it's a serious smile.
Yes.
How important is it, and what do you do to get them to make that face when they're singing? Is it just a natural thing that happens?
It is not natural. Trust me.
Okay.
It's only natural when they're off camera.
Okay.
Or when they're not doing what I'm asking them to do.
So that is part of the singing training?
That's part of the training. That's, something that we have to, Chorus 101, facial expression.
And is it about getting in front of a mirror and singing into front of the mirror?
I don't know about letting them get in front of a mirror, but anyway, no, just a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can do that. That's something that they can do. In fact, that's probably something that they should do. But
you see it. I mean, Carol, I'm looking around the room and everybody's got that face. It's that smile and it's like over enunciating and over articulating the words that they're saying and everything. I mean, it truly did sound like Broadway.
Great. That's what we wanted. That's what we want.
Where can we come and hear the Christmas program, perhaps?
Well, our holiday concert is on December the 13th, and it's at 6:30 at Lincoln Park Academy in the auditorium. Tickets are $8 online. $10 at the door.
And there's another. You're doing another program. Is that it for the year? Or
no, we're doing City Hall on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fort Pierce City Hall, so people can come out.
City Hall, and if you want to come out and see us, great. That'd be great.
Very good.
Okay.
They sound good.
The talent stays with the students their entire life, but what portion of your students do you think actually go into some type of a musical or acting career?
We have a certain percentage. It's kind of small right now. That's really not my focus. My focus is just actually to teach them something that they will enjoy, that they can enjoy throughout lifetime. And also within the process is teaching life skills in the whole 9 yards, teamwork, being able to set a goal as a group and accomplish that goal successfully. So the focus is, we teach music, but we also teach them about how to work together and, how, character, building character, that type of stuff. So,
You know what I'd like to see, Carol? I'd like to see a sing-off between them and Westwood. And I know there's look at that face. And I know you have a friend over there at Westwood that you went to college with.
that's my brother. I can't say anything about him. I won't. We won't. We try not to do that kind of stuff.
But both choirs are just awesome.
We mean that as a compliment.
That's why I'd like to hear them both in the same room, just battling, like two hip hop, like two DJs battling. Come on, put it together, Mr. Romney.
No, sir. I still want to keep my friend.
I understand. Good stuff there, though. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
At the Sunrise Theater, I see it now on the marquee. I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Battle of the Choirs.
Yeah, the Battle of the Choirs.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Right on. Thanks a lot, Mr. Romney.
All right,
Appreciate that.
Let's talk back with about some technology in cars a little bit. Steve Ward, the general manager of Garber Buick, and technology is something people buy a new car and then we know how to drive, but you look at everything in there and think, wow, what is all this?
Yeah, never before have you seen the level of technology in the vehicles, and I've been around the automobile business for quite a few years. I hate to say, and never have I seen the technology moving as quickly as it is right now. It used to be that technology was adopted, different technology. Every few years, 5 years, you can see new stuff come out. But nowadays, it's literally on the months.
It's almost like they said, okay, they're ready for it. Give it to them. Give it all to them. I rented a car, and it took me 20 minutes before I left the lot to figure out how to put it in park. There wasn't a stick shift. I'm like, what the heck is this little knob? I mean, everything's knob and push and touch and all this now.
Absolutely. They're always testing out different ways of using the vehicles, different controls and things of that nature. But with the technology side of it, the safety side of it in particular, General Motors is at the forefront, and they're committed to being the leader in technology and safety, and also the autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles that we have coming that we'll all have within the next few years. I mean, the vehicles today already recognize street signs as you drive down the road, and they can tell you if it's a stop sign, they can tell the speed limit from the signs, and so forth. It's starting to get to the point where it knows that the vehicles around it. It is constantly monitoring, and everything. We're just another breakthrough away, another cost reduction away from being able to get this stuff into
Wow.
every vehicle.
It's amazing.
How far do you think we are from actually people drive this self-driving car?
I think that really we'll see it in the next 3 years.
Wow.
3?
They already exist in many cities. They, through some of the driving services and things of that nature, they have vehicles that are able to go from one end of the city to the other. But I know General Motors in particular, they have a goal of 2021, 22 to have a fully autonomous vehicle.
You know, I love the technology where you're looking, where you don't have to actually look at your dashboard. You're looking straight ahead in the windshield, and you see your speed limit. You see how fast you're going. You see the road signs. Everything is like right there. I mean, talk about futuristic.
At what point is that visual overload? I mean, do people have trouble coping with all of that?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, we take in the information that we need in order to be a safe driver and so forth, but it's nice to have the option to see all the different data. And the heads-up displays that you're talking about is a popular feature. Again, keeping you on the road. But as the technology increases with the semi-autonomous braking and emergency braking systems, obviously we still got to keep our eyes on the road and we got to be responsible as we're driving. But the vehicles are now giving you an extra layer of protection because it's looking ahead. It's seeing the vehicles in front of you. It's even seeing the vehicles in front of the vehicle in front of you and anticipating what those vehicles are going to do. And if they hit the brakes, if you're not paying attention, the vehicle is preloading the brakes calipers. So when you hit the brakes, it absolutely shaves off even hundredths of a second from the ability to stop that vehicle. And some of the vehicles will actually stop themselves and maintain speed with the vehicles in front of them. So it's a little, I gotta say, it's a little unnerving at first when you get in these vehicles that have this technology, but it takes minutes and it gives you a feeling of safety that you just never have had in automobiles.
Well, and plus, when a person buys a new vehicle with all that technology in it, there's some sort of a training that goes along with them prior to them leaving the dealership?
Absolutely. We do our best to bring the person up to speed on the technology. Obviously, we encourage them to read the owner's manual.
Good luck with that.
Paper owner's manual or go online. But then we also offer our customers the ability to take the car for a few days and come back to us and do a reorientation of the vehicle. And a lot of times the information sinks in a little bit better after having a few days. You don't know what you don't know until you get out there and try to work with it.
That is great. And so you offer that. I mean, they can keep coming back. How does this work?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. We have many customers that come back even a year later and say, hey, can someone come out and show me how this works? Because it's a new feature that they've discovered that they didn't even realize the vehicle had. And, nor they got a new phone, and the technology there is now to be able to use the different things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and things of this nature that they didn't have that option before.
I wonder, is there some research on how much of the features don't actually get used? Because there's so many of them. And all of a sudden one day you go, oh, I didn't know this did this. Oh, I didn't know that happened. Things like that. It's probably a bunch of it.
Absolutely. I think back many years ago to a customer who traded in a vehicle and went to use the air conditioning in the car that wasn't working. It was an older vehiil. And I said to the lady, have you had the air conditioning looked at recently? And she said, I don't have air conditioning, son. And I said, no, ma'am, you do. Is that what this button is? And she'd been driving the car for 10 years.
Oh, my goodness.
This wasn't in Florida, was it?
No, this wasn't in Florida. This was back in Virginia, but still plenty hot there.
Yeah.
I think about that. And
wow.
And very much the same thing with technology today. People sometimes don't even realize the level of technology.
Again, because we don't read the manual.
Absolutely. So if you're like me, I can read a manual all day long and I won't retain any of it until I get in there and push the buttons.
There you go.
Experience it before it sticks.
You have to do it. Certainly.
Absolutely.
And certainly thank you for supporting the Christmas Kids. We will be doing a little more packing this week. What we received from St. Lucie County Community Services, they screen children, and we get a list of families with a 2-year-old girl, 7-year-old boy, 10-year-old girl, and then we have volunteers that have gone around a little toy warehouse. They have found 3 new toys each for each of the children, and we pack a family bag. And that is still going on this week.
Wonderful.
It'll be next, a week from today. We'll be giving away the toys. It's at the Logistics Center in the morning, and everyone who has signed up and gotten their number will be there and we'll have the bags for them. Actually, we have something unique this year. We had a donation from Walgreens that said, look, we've got all this Christmas wrapping paper. We'd really rather not store it. Can you use it? And so
wow.
we had it. We have huge boxes, so we'll be able to give wrapping paper with the family, with the toys. And the idea, it has always been given to the parents. So the parents can either give that from Santa, can give it from the family. It's to help the family celebrate the holidays.
That's wonderful.
So that'll be an extra this year.
Now, I wanted to ask you, because I know the Sugar Plum Run happened
It did,
already.
yes, yes.
And that was, I mean, way more than expected of as far as the runners were coming out.
Yes. And we joke about our group of crazy runners who adopted the Christmas Kids. We have been the recipient of the Sugar Plum Run for 2 years. And this was great this year. We had almost, I think, about 600 runners, serious runners. They did a half marathon, 10K, and 5K. Around tradition, it was a nighttime run. And it was great. It was great. All of the feedback that we've gotten so far, people have loved the idea, and they made it fun. We had a lot of food. We had members of the St. Lucie Ballet, actually the Sugar Plum Fairies, giving out the medals.
Okay.
So yes.
Very nice.
But no, it went very well. So we certainly thank everyone involved in that, Alan Ansorselli and Mike Melton, and all the planners, Stephanie, all the planners that put this together. And that enabled us last year to increase the summer swim program. As you know, the Christmas Kids also pay to send, used to be at least 100 children through the county's water safety program. With the Sugar Plum Run last year, we increased that to 125, and we'll have a meeting right after the holidays, and I'm sure it'll be increasing not only the swim, but we're branching out into some other things.
And that was interesting, because when we met and talked with the community services, they're offering things like shoes and car repairs and laundry and haircuts and all this stuff.
Well, we want to focus, I think, on school clothing.
Okay.
And shoes. I mean, that was one thing. Community Services has been screening the children for the Christmas Kids and families for years. But they said, we run into a lot of other needs that are not met. And chiefly, shoes, clothing, and not just in August or September, but throughout the year for children going to school.
And like they mentioned, there are a lot of organizations that do the toys.
Well,
but
they do.
who's doing shoes?
They do toys, they do back-to-school supplies.
Yeah.
But, some of the basics. I mean, and that, again, Community Services will be screening for us, but that's where, some of this extra revenue will be going in that's been generated from the Sugar Plum Run, and certainly from the people who have supported the Christmas Kids.
Yeah, very good. All right, we're going to hear again from Lincoln Park Academy Chorale, some more of that great harmony that we're used to hearing. Where's your director?
I think he's taking care of the music, right? Oh yes, okay.
Okay, all right. Some more harmonies from Lincoln Park Academy Chorale.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing on bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time.
have it. Wow, great stuff. You know, and I almost forgot. This is being recorded. It's going to be on TV.
It is, yes, and on the WLX, the St. Lucie County School Board channel. It'll be aired during the holidays on the channel. I think it's usually channel 13. It may depend on your cable system, but channel 13. And then also, it's on the YouTube channel. So you look up that the school district has its own YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, and then you search WLX-TV.
Okay.
And give them a few days, but then it'll be up there, and you can find.
So the students can go on YouTube and see themselves sing live here at Garber Buick. Wow, there you go.
All your parents and if your family all over the world can find YouTube and can find you.
There you
Certainly.
go. Good stuff.
But we want to thank Steve Ward for being here on his first Christmas Kids show. So if we can continue the tradition of asking you about your favorite holiday memory.
You know, I'm very fortunate. I have lots of great holiday memories, but one of the ones that stands out the most for me is I was about 10 years old, and at the time my father was running a car dealership and come from a family of car dealership people in a place called Culpeper, Virginia. And the dealer there was also a pastor. And it was Christmas Eve, and the pastor came through and asked my father, he said, "Bill, could Steve go with me to help me with a project?" I didn't know what we were doing. And we got in the car, and we went out to some areas of the neighborhood, the area in the county, and we were giving out Christmas dinners and Christmas hams and things to some people a little less fortunate. And I remember that night clearly because it was a rainy night. It was cold but rainy, and going door to door and seeing the looks on these people's faces to receive these gifts.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about, just the basics. Sometimes we forget. We think toys and we think this, but it comes down to the basics. And that's stuck with me for all these years, is seeing that and being a part of that. I feel very fortunate to have been able to experience that.
Certainly, and actually, and to continue that's kind of how the Christmas Kids started as well. There was an appeal made for a little girl in 1946 when there was only one radio station on the Treasure Coast. It was broadcast, and there was a tremendous response, and then it continued year after year as people went. I think they talked about the fire department, police department, service groups delivered toys and things that were needed during the holidays.
Absolutely.
But certainly, thank you. That's a great holiday memory.
Yes, I'm glad to share.
And thank you, Steve Ward, and the rest of Garber Buick for being with us and supporting the Christmas Kids in all that we do.
This is fun, and everybody did a great job.
And good luck with the test drive program.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Remember March. You need to get everybody out to test drive.
There you go.
And it's great that there is the $10,000 grant possibility.
Absolutely. We're excited. We want to continue this, do a couple schools every year if we can.
Okay, that is great. Well, thank you for being with us, and let's join Lincoln Park Academy Choral to help us close out the program today. We're rearranging again. That means we're
That's right.
that full sound.
Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria, Hallelujah. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Christ the Lord is born. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria, Hallelujah. Gloria in excelsis Deo.